The last time I spoke to my childhood friend, he was standing at the edge of our old playground asking, "Do you ever wish we could just start over?" I laughed it off, not knowing that he meant it in a way that would echo long after he was gone. It happened on a Sunday afternoon in late September. The kind of day where the air's cool but still clings to that leftover summer warmth. I was sitting on the old wooden seesaw, the one that never sat level because one side was warped and split down the middle. It hadn't been touched in years. Paint chipped off decades ago. That playground over behind Mason Elementary was where we used to spend our whole childhood, Joey and me. Joey stood at the edge of it all. Same beat-up gray hoodie he used to wear in high school. Hands deep in his pockets. Hair a little thinner than I remembered. He looked out past the swing set like he was looking for something far off in the distance. "Do you ever wish we could just start over?" he asked. I laughed. What, like wipe the slate clean and be 10 years old again? Go back to when we thought Kool-Aid was alcohol and skateboards made us invincible? He didn't laugh. Not even a smirk. Just gave me a slow nod like I didn't get it. He didn't look sad. Just tired. And quiet. I remember that so clearly, how damn quiet he was. He left that night. Disappeared. I found out 2 days later from his sister, Katie. She called crying, couldn't even get the words out at first. Joey had taken his own life. Hung himself in the shed behind their mom's place. No drugs, no alcohol in his system. Just a single note that said, "I'm sorry. I was trying." She didn't let me read the rest of the note. Said it was personal. I didn't press. I should've. That was my first mistake. I tried to move on. Went back to the car lot my dad used to run before he passed. Tried to keep things steady with my girlfriend, Brandy. But my head wasn't right. Joey's voice stuck in my skull. That question. Do you ever wish we could just start over? 2 months later, right before Christmas, I got a Facebook message. From Joey. "You laughed. But I meant it. You'll see what I meant. Soon." My chest went cold. I stared at the message for a solid minute before I even blinked. I thought it had to be a joke. Maybe someone hacked his account. But then another message came. A photo. It was me, sleeping, in my own bed, in my house. Then another photo. Brandy. She was taking off her shirt in the bathroom. The angle was from the corner shelf near the ceiling, the one where we keep the spare towels. That spot's impossible to reach without a ladder. My stomach dropped. Someone had been in our house. Not once, more than once. Someone had watched us, took photos, and sent them from my dead friend's account. I went straight to the cops, told them everything, showed them the pictures, the messages. They logged it as cyber harassment. Gave me a report number. That was it. No sign of forced entry, they said. Could be someone you know. A prank, maybe. A prank? Then a week later, I found my dog dead in the backyard. Teddy. He was 10 years old. Healthy. Happy. I fed him that morning. By afternoon, he was foaming at the mouth and shaking. The vet said it was rat poison. Someone fed it to him. That's when I knew this wasn't random. This wasn't a prank. This was Joey. Or someone using Joey. I didn't sleep after that. Brandy and I took turns staying awake at night. I installed security cameras. Changed all the locks. Got a shotgun and kept it loaded by the bed. But the messages kept coming. You're not who you were supposed to be. Starting over means burning it all down. I started digging. Called Joey's old roommates. Ex-girlfriends. One guy in Indianapolis told me Joey stopped talking 6 months before he died. Said he started going to some kind of meetings but didn't say what for. Another friend from Chicago said Joey once talked about rebuilding everything from scratch, like hitting reset on a game. His sister finally agreed to meet with me. We met at a diner just outside of town. She brought a box with her. Said she didn't know what else to do with it. Inside were Joey's notebooks. Dozens of them. Filled front to back with scribbles, plans, diagrams. Most of it didn't make sense. But one thing did: my name. It was written all over. Circles around it. Arrows pointing toward it. Timelines. Maps. Photos of us as kids taped to pages like a damn manifesto. There were pages about the system, the illusion of choice, false friendships, and deserved resets. And then I found a page with a list. My name was first. Then Brandy. Then our neighbor, Carl. Then others. People I barely knew. But Joey did. From back when we were kids. He was planning something. Or someone was continuing his plan. And I was right in the middle of it. I thought maybe the worst was over. I was wrong. About a week after I met with Katie, I came home to find my living room trashed. Brandy was crying on the porch, phone in her hand, waiting for the cops. Someone had broken in through the back door, shattered the window, and gone through everything. Furniture turned over, pictures ripped off the walls, drawers emptied. But nothing was taken. Not even the cash we kept in the kitchen drawer. That wasn't a robbery. That was a message. There was something spray-painted on our bedroom wall. Just 5 words in black paint. I don't think I've ever felt rage like that before. Whoever was behind this was playing a game. A twisted game Joey either started or inspired. And I was the prize. That night, I opened the notebooks again. I'd skimmed through them before, but this time I sat down with a bottle of whiskey and really read them. That's when I saw it. A map. Not just of our town, but of the playground. And under it, in red ink, were the words, under that, coordinates. I grabbed a flashlight and a shovel and drove to the old schoolyard. It was close to midnight, cold enough to see my breath. I followed the coordinates. They led me behind the jungle gym to a spot we used to call the fort when we were kids. Just a patch of dirt and roots now. I started digging. About 2 feet down, I hit something solid. It was a plastic box. Inside was a Ziploc bag with a flash drive and a folded letter. The letter was for me. Joey's handwriting. You laughed when I asked if we could start over. You didn't understand. You still don't. But you will. What comes next is the world I tried to build. A world without liars. Without betrayal. Without people pretending to be who they're not. You'll either help me or be erased like the rest. The flash drive had a video on it. A recording. Joey, sitting in a dark room, talking straight into the camera. He looked nothing like the guy I'd seen 2 months ago. His hair was longer, beard scruffy, eyes red like he hadn't slept in days. This isn't suicide. This is transition. People think death is the end. But I'm giving you a second chance. All of you. You'll either fix what you broke or you'll rot in it. The rest was static. Then flashing images. Our school, my car lot, Brandy's old apartment. Then black. I couldn't sleep after that. I kept wondering who else had seen the video. Was I the only one? Or were the others on the list already getting their tests? I tried warning Brandy. Told her she needed to leave town. She looked at me like I was losing my mind. You think Joey's ghost is haunting us? She said. You need help, babe. She left that night. And then things got worse. I got a call from the sheriff's office the next morning. Carl, our neighbor, had been found in his garage. Dead. Car running, doors closed. Carbon monoxide. They called it suicide. But Carl was the happiest guy I knew. Always waving, always talking about his grandkids. He wasn't on any meds, wasn't dealing with depression. I knew in my gut this wasn't just another coincidence. I looked back at the list from the notebook. Carl's name was third. Brandy's was second. I tried calling her. No answer. I drove to her parents' place in Erie. They hadn't seen her. Called her job. She hadn't shown up. Then I got a text. No number. Just one message. She has her chance now. Let's see what she does with it. I didn't even know what that meant. Was she taken? Did she run? I started going through Joey's boxes again, looking for any clue. Found an envelope taped to the bottom of one of the journals. Inside was a Polaroid of us at 16. Me, Joey, and Brandy. It was labeled, The First Betrayal. My blood ran cold. Because I knew what it meant. Back in high school, Brandy and I started dating behind Joey's back. He had a thing for her. Had told me, but I lied. Told him we were just friends. We weren't. She was sneaking out to see me for months before Joey found out. When he did, he stopped talking to both of us for almost a year. We never talked about it again. But clearly he never forgot. This wasn't random. This was personal. And the game wasn't over. After I saw the Polaroid, I started rethinking everything. I kept going back to that phrase, the first betrayal. If there was a first, that meant there were more. I called Katie again. Told her about the notebook, the list, the flash drive, everything. I expected her to be shocked. To cry. To tell me it was all insane. But she didn't. She got real quiet on the phone. And then said, I think you need to come over. There's something I didn't tell you. I drove to her place that night. She lived out by the train tracks in a small rented house she barely afforded since losing her job. She let me in, didn't say much, just pointed to the kitchen table. There was a box there labeled Project Reset. She sat down and stared at me. He left that for me, she said. Told me to only open it if I started seeing signs. Signs of what? I asked. That he was still moving, even if he was dead. I opened the box. Inside were 3 separate flash drives, each labeled with a name. Me, you, and her? Katie explained she hadn't watched any of them yet. She was too scared. She thought it was some kind of suicide explanation, like a farewell message broken into parts. But after I told her what I found, she agreed to watch one. We started with me. Hers. The video was shot in the same dark room as the one I saw earlier. But this time Joey was more intense. His face was leaner. His voice sharp and deliberate. Katie, I never told you everything. About what Dad did. About why I left the first time. You always blamed Mom. You were wrong. But this isn't about blame anymore. This is about freedom. You were part of the rot. You covered for them. You told me to forgive. That's why you're on the list. Katie's face went pale. She paused the video. I don't know what he's talking about, she whispered. But I could see it in her eyes. She did know. We played the second video. Her. It was for Brandy. You were the lie I chased. You smiled at me, then spit behind my back. I trusted you. And you let me rot. You and him. You're both broken. But only one of you can come back. Then he stared at the camera for a long time. Said nothing. Just stared. I couldn't breathe. The way he said it, he wasn't threatening her. He was offering her something. Like this was a test between us. Like he'd already reached out to her and now it was her move. We didn't open the 3rd flash drive. I took it with me. I wasn't ready. The next day, I got a text from an unknown number. She made her choice. Then a location pin dropped into the message. It was a cabin, way out past Hocking Hills, middle of nowhere. I drove there. When I pulled up, Brandy's car was already outside, dust covered. No footprints in the snow except hers and another set larger, heavy boots. The door was cracked open. I stepped inside, gun drawn. The place was dead quiet. I called her name. No answer. The living room was empty, kitchen untouched. Then I saw a light on in the back room. I pushed the door open slowly. She was sitting in a chair, hands tied to the arms, mouth taped shut, eyes wide with terror. And standing next to her was a man I didn't recognize. Heavy coat, bearded, holding a phone in one hand, knife in the other. I've been waiting for you, he said. I didn't say anything, just kept the gun raised. I'm not here to hurt you, he said calmly. I'm here to help you finish it. What the hell is this? I asked. This, he said, nodding to Brandy, is the second trial. She's already made her choice. But you haven't. What choice? I snapped. He smiled, cold and slow. You either finish what Joey started, or everything burns. Then he held out a second knife. Your test begins now. I didn't move. Brandy was staring at me with wide eyes, begging me to do something without saying a word. The tape over her mouth kept her silent, but her eyes said everything: fear, guilt, maybe even shame. The man held the knife out steady. She already confessed, he said. Confessed what? I asked. That she knew Joey was going to kill himself. He told her days before. Asked for help. She ignored it. Ghosted him. Didn't even tell you. My grip on the gun tightened. I looked at Brandy. Her head dropped. That was enough. Why are you doing this? I asked the man. He took a deep breath. Because Joey wasn't crazy. He was right. You all broke something. And you never owned it. This isn't about revenge. This is about balance. I could hear my heart pounding in my ears. Then he said, You've got 2 choices. Walk away and everything about her life comes out. The cheating. The lie about the abortion. The money she took from Joey behind your back. Or you end it. The way he wanted. Clean. Final. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. What the hell are you? I asked. He smiled, barely. The one who believed him. I looked at Brandy again. Her eyes were wet now. She shook her head slowly, like she knew she didn't deserve forgiveness but still hoped for it. Then I made a mistake. I lowered the gun. The man moved fast. Too fast. Before I could react, he struck me across the jaw. I hit the ground hard, the gun flying from my hand. Then I heard Brandy scream through the tape as he dragged her to her feet. I scrambled, reached for the knife he had dropped, and lunged at him. We fought hard, rolling across the cabin floor. I got the knife into his side once, but he slammed my head into the wall. I saw black for a second. When I came to, he was on top of Brandy, pressing the blade to her neck. "Make a choice," he yelled. I picked up the gun. "Let her go," I screamed. He didn't move, so I shot, right through his back. He slumped forward, dead weight. Brandy let out a muffled scream, her whole body shaking. I untied her. She collapsed into my arms. She cried for what felt like hours. We didn't call the cops. We burned the cabin. We left the body, took his phone, wiped it. We never spoke about it again. But that wasn't the end. The third flash drive sat in my drawer for weeks. I finally watched it one night, alone. Joey looked right at the camera and said, "You never said sorry. Not once. You took what was mine, laughed like it meant nothing, and moved on. So I made sure you'd never forget. This was never about just her. It was about what you chose to be. And now you have to live with it." He paused, then smiled sadly. We both failed. But at least I left the truth behind. I still hear him sometimes. When the house is quiet, when Brandy's asleep, I see his face in my dreams. And I know no matter how far I run, I'll always carry what I did. Not just to him, but to myself.